Okay. Welcome everyone to my 1 year anniversary, or the continuation of my celebration of my 1 year anniversary. Um, you know, it's been a full year. Today is July 28th, 2021. And I remember I started this podcast in 2020, same day, July 28th. And it's been through a lot of changes. I've changed because of it. I remember when I first started podcasting, I started off with a friend in Naima Walhawa. We started the No Nonsense podcast, but then he got busy with school, and I was not one to talk. I'm a very soft spoken person, and I was kind of hesitant to break out on my own, but he saw he gave me confidence. Other people that we've had on the podcast gave me confidence, and with time, I started my own podcast and I started breaking out on my own. And let's break down some of my accomplishments. 53 subscribers, 6,710 views, I believe, in the first year that I've started being, on YouTube and other podcast platforms, because I do have other podcast platforms as well. But again, I wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't for you guys, the fans. You guys interact with me in the comment section. Some of you give me a hard time. Some of you, like what I have to say, and that's what I like. I like, interacting with the audience. So keep it going, because I'll keep on getting better and better because and for you. So I do want to begin this celebration with thanking you guys, because without you guys, I probably would have just given up on podcasting altogether. Even though I do have rivals as well, I do have a few mentors as well that I try to don't follow in their footsteps, but they give me advice and pointers on how I could be better. So just to break down what this celebration is gonna entail, we're gonna break down some of my clips where I at first, when I first started, how I didn't sound too confident. I was lacking in confidence when I spoke. How I improved over time. At first I just spoke about American football, then European soccer content. I also did say that I would talk technology, but that hasn't happened. The only thing that I've done technology wise is talking about accessible technology, and I'll talk about those clips and put those clips in here as well. Um, and I'll also be discussing my best rants, how I felt about certain figures, either ownership, uh, board of directors wise, regarding teams and stuff like that. So that's what's going to be coming in the celebration. So buckle up. Like I said, thank you. I hope that you keep on enjoying the ride, and let's get to it. All right, cool. So, as I stated earlier, I was very timid, not one to talk, very soft spoken. And I'm going to show you an example of it. Here I have a clip of my first YouTube video where I did state that I was going to break out solo. Let's take a listen. Hi, folks. This is Oscar from No Nonsense Podcast. Um, So, if you guys haven't been keeping up with our episodes, I suggest that you switch over to our podcast channel, because, him and I did discuss the possibility of us branching out from doing, the No Nonsense podcast and filming our own thing on our own channels, individual channels. So, topics that I may discuss are going to range from sports, cybersecurity, and how I interpret that. Maybe things that go on in my household and stuff like that. So just bear with me. I'm coming up with new content. If you guys want me to talk about something, I will. Just let me know in the comments below. Um, so today, uh, this little episode or whatever it's called, I'm going to talk a little bit about sports. For those that don't know, I'm a Washington football team. So you see there where I literally said, you see an example of how I didn't really, um, wasn't all that confident when I first started. And like I said, at the beginning, I was I kicked off No Nonsense with my friend Naeem Abul Hawa. Shout out to him. With me just being a co-host, I strictly told him I'm going to be a co-host. I don't expect me to lead any conversations. If it's something that I'm comfortable with, then I definitely will. But I honestly did say I'm not looking to be a host. And then, I got comfortable as time went on because we did No Nonsense. And I think we were 2 months in when I started going solo. But then, as you noticed there, I was still, trying to get my footing within the podcasting world. Another YouTube clip, which I will be playing here soon, I'm going to demonstrate how I kept on growing and growing and growing as a YouTuber. And that will be talking about the accessible technology tools that a series that I did way back in the beginning. So that'll be coming up next. If you can pause the recording. So, as I stated, I was getting confident as time went on, and I'm actually, for those that don't know me, I love technology. I love talking about technology. I'm a cybersecurity, I'm trying to get different certificates in the cybersecurity field. But as a blind individual, I have to use a lot of tools. And I started a mini series called Oscar's Accessible Technology Tools. Let's go ahead and let's play a few seconds of a clip that I selected about that series here. Is it recording? Okay, it is. Hi guys, Oscar here with a new video. I apologize if I didn't know it was recording or not. I am using my mom's iPad, hence the reason why I am doing this microphone free, just because the audio, I did not install the app that is necessary for the microphone to work properly on her iPad, because it's not my iPad, it is my mom's. So, I wanted to show you guys, how I use my cell phone or iPhone. A little history with me in phones. So my first phone was an LG, I think Samsung made them. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So, that was my first phone. It was one of those, slide phones where the screen had the, speaker, up and down arrow buttons, and then when you slid it to the left or right, I think it was like left, you had the little. See the difference? See the difference in the confidence in my voice when I know what I'm, talking about. Don't get me wrong. I know how to, I know football. I grew up watching American football, European soccer, but for some reason, when it comes to technology, I'm a whole different person. And for those that know me, I'm very very smart when it comes to technology. People come to me for advice when it comes to technology. So, you notice the difference in my voice when I'm, in my comfort zone. In fact, I remember we had a few technology episodes on No Nonsense, where Jason, myself, and Naeem were discussing, cyber, some issues within the cybersecurity, cybersecurity realm, how the government, monitors our speech. I don't know how we ended up going into, because it just started off, talking about technology, and then next thing you know, we talk about, rules and regulations within YouTube. So another, example was when I was on Jason Alamillo's or Get the Memo podcast. I actually, was spreading the knowledge with Jason about different cybersecurity terms like man trap. Let me see what other, different attacks like man in the middle or, backdoor attacks. So, yeah, like I said, when I talk technology, um, we can, I can go on and on. For example, what I'm doing right now, I'm rambling. So I would like to show you all an example of, how I would feel, how I felt, comfortable talking about sports, both soccer wise and American football wise. And that will be coming up next. And you can pause the video. So you saw how I, was gaining confidence when I was talking technology, and I would like to show you all how I showed enthusiasm as I kept on covering American football and my European soccer content. So I'm going to show you an old Washington video in this next clip. What is up, everyone? Oscar here with a new and happy video. The Washington football team defeats the Philadelphia Eagles 27-17, and all I gotta say is, Eagles fans and the Eagles had it coming. They had it coming. They got cocky. And a nice callback. Last year, the Washington football team was up 17-0. And they let that game get away from them, and the final score was 34 to something. It was like 34 to 20, 34-24, something like that. Last year. So, fortunately for the viewers now, I was in a good mood because Washington won that game. I would have wished to, have a video where I would be, angry and pissed off of when Washington lost. Because for some weird reason, whenever Washington would lose, I would just be sad, not angry. And I would say that I would be, just upset in general. And obviously, I'll be playing videos later on about rants that I had in European soccer. But for some reason, when it came to football, I never showed anger or hatred for the way that the team played. But again, like I said, you notice the difference of when I first started, when I speak technology, and then of course when I talk American football. Next up will be a video of me talking European soccer content, and that's what's coming up next. Yes. So we're going to look at how I discuss European soccer content. At the beginning, and I got some confirmation because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine last night because I was looking at different clips that I could show you all. And I was telling him, man, for some reason, I don't show as much emotion in my Washington videos than I do with my Real Madrid or European soccer videos. And he says that it's probably because I was forced to root for Washington, which isn't the case. And yeah, because I would show anger and frustration with Real Madrid whenever they would lose, draw, when the managers would have questionable decisions. but at the beginning, it sounded like I didn't have emotion. So let's take a listen at this next clip. What is up, everyone? Oscar here with a new video. Before I get into it though, I'd like to remind you all to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video, and turn on post notifications so that way you know when I drop a new video. So let's get into it. So I know that I usually go live right after the game, but I ended up missing. I'm gonna talk about Real Madrid versus Betis, the soccer game earlier today. I know I'm a little late, or a lot late for that matter. It's just I kind of missed the first half of the game. I had to do some grocery shopping with Instacart, and for me that literally took an hour. So I kind of see the difference. Like I said, well, I'm gonna show you some rants because that was the old me with, you know, when Real Madrid they were struggling, but not to the point where, you know, the manager would do questionable decisions that made me, you know, if I would be able to roll my eyes, because I can't, I would, but yeah. So let me know what you guys think about, you know, where I was then, you know, towards the middle, and then now. Do you guys think that it's the same, different? Just let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, this is gonna be, I want it to be interactive, like always. So that'll do it for this you know, recapper of a video. I look forward to discussing more, like for example, what's coming up next on my 1 year celebration. It's gonna be, you know, my top rants. You know, I have some Zinedine Zidane rants, some Florentino Perez rants that I want to show you all, my reaction, stuff like that. So that is what's gonna come up next. You can pause the program.